morning, everybody. My name is Adam Story. I am the Vice President of University Relations here at Pacific Northwest University. Good morning and welcome to our campus. And welcome to the inauguration of our new president, Dr. Mike Mittelman. We really appreciate everybody coming. At this time, I would like to ask everybody to please silence your cell phones. We all feel good about that? Okay. Our president is a military man, so we are starting on time. We're going to get the processional going right now. Would you all please rise to your feet for the processional? Thank you.
All right, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. Welcome and good morning. I'm Kevin Van Nortwick, the Chair of the Board of Trustees. It is a privilege to welcome each of you to this joyful and significant occasion, the inauguration of Michael H. Mittelman as the 7th President of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. At this time, I would like to introduce those on the platform party joining me today. As I call your name, please stand. Reverend Mary Height, Board of Trustees. Davis Washeen's Board of Trustees. Bob Ferguson, Governor of Washington. Curtis King, Senator of Washington's 14th District. Ryan Roberts, Chair of the Staff Council. Kirsten Hall, Chair of Student Government Association. Dr. Holly Clark, Faculty Senate, Dr. Lloyd H. Butler, President Emeritus and Trustee Emeritus, Eleanor Stasio, family friend of the Mittelmans, our President, Dr. Michael H. Mittelman, who joins PNW most recently from Salus University. Okay, before we begin, I would like also to take a moment to recognize someone whose support has been essential through Mike's journey, and whose partnership has been instrumental during his transition into the PNW community. His wife, Tanis Mittelman. Thank you, Tanis. We're very happy to have you here with us today. Ceremony is truly extraordinary. It provides us with a unique opportunity to come together, both in person and virtually, to reflect on the journey of the university, where we have been, and where we want to go together. It also invites us to formally acknowledge and embrace Mike's presidency and the leadership he will bring as we move forward into that shared future. In this moment, we recognize the strong trust and collaborative relationship that Mike has cultivated with both me and the Board of Trustees. His steady leadership and unwavering integrity have made him not only an exceptional president, but a valued partner whose presence strengthens the very foundation of our work. We are proud to have him leading Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences and are deeply grateful for the commitment and vision he brings to this role. As we open this ceremony, we turn now to the voices from our platform, our party here who will offer words of welcome from Mike. To begin, it is my privilege to first welcome Reverend Mary Hike, who will lead us in our land acknowledgement. She will be followed by Davis Washines, who will offer a blessing for today's ceremony. Mary?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm Mary Hike, and I'm honored to be here today on behalf of the Board of Trustees to acknowledge the land on which PNWU sits. We come together at particular times to celebrate sacred moments in our lives together, our history, and today is one of those moments. Pacific Northwest University recognizes that long before our founders had a vision for a health sciences university in Yakima, the land on which the university is built has been cared for from time immemorial by the 14 confederated tribes and bands of the Yakima Nation. We stand united in our reverence for the land and all the elements of nature that make up this campus. Moments like this remind us that we are part of a continuum, and that continuum calls on us to act with integrity, with gratitude, and with humility. As a university committed to preparing future healthcare professionals, we carry that responsibility to root our work in respect, in understanding, and in partnership. And with Mike's leadership guiding us, we look forward to strengthening this commitment and building a purposeful future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Davis, for grounding our gathering in reflection and blessing. Carrying that inspiration forward, we will now hear from valued partners in our state's executive and legislative community. I'm pleased to welcome Governor Bob Ferguson, who will be followed by Senator Curtis King.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I am, in fact, the warm-up act for Senator Curtis King, who you'll be hearing from in a few moments. And it's always great to see Senator King. He's just a real treasure for this area, as I'm sure you all know, and someone I deeply respect. My name's Bob Ferguson. It's a real pleasure to be here. I think we all recognize that inauguration of a president is a significant occasion in the life of any institution, and that's why it's such an honor to be here today. So first, Dr. Mittelman, congratulations. On behalf of the people of the state of Washington, we appreciate your willingness to step up and lead this wonderful institution. My wife Colleen, as the president knows, my wife Colleen and I have twins. They're seniors in high school, and anyone who's ever had a kid who's a senior in high school knows that at this time in their life, they're pretty focused on what they're going to do next, what comes after high school. And Jack and Katie, they have plans to attend college, and as a parent, I've been learning a lot about institutions all across the country. Some schools I know a lot about, some I don't know that much about at all. So one thing I've learned to do in learning about a school is one thing I do check as one metric is I check their rankings. Because rankings tell me certain things, not everything, but they tell you something about an institution. It tells me what the school focuses on. It tells me what they care about. It tells me what kind of student that they want. So when I received a very kind invitation to say a few words today and attend this wonderful event, I was of course aware of the mission of this institution to train healthcare professionals with an emphasis on service in rural and underserved communities, primarily of course in the Northwest. So last night after my son received word from a few more schools, some good news, some not so good news, you know how that goes, right? I thought, hey, I'm gonna go online and check it out and just see what I can learn. And I won't go through all of it, but in my additional research, I learned that this university ranks 3rd for most graduates practicing in a rural area. Now that is what I would call matching a mission with outcomes. I also learned the university ranks in the top 10 for most graduates practicing in areas with a shortage of health professionals. I would also say that is also matching a mission with outcomes, which is a credit to any institution, whether you're in government or whatever business, whatever you do, if you have a clear mission, which I appreciate about this institution, and you're able to match that with that level of outcomes, that's a high-functioning institution. And that's not just any outcomes. These are graduates who go on to serve. That word service comes right from the mission statement. Serve those with tremendous need across our state. So I want to be here, of course, first to recognize and congratulate our new president. We deeply respect and admire, sir, your years of service and the leadership you bring to this institution. But I also wanted to attend as a grateful governor to express my thanks on behalf of the people of the state of Washington for the important work that all of you do to support this institution in different ways. And lastly, I'd like to say just a brief word to the students here. I have to slip out a little bit early. I'm going to go see students at Davis High School here to talk to them about the future of our state and their contributions to it, which is a real opportunity. But to the students for this institution, thank you for pursuing this work. It's important and it helps people all across our state. And it's a life of service that I think we can all agree is badly needed. The senator knows that. We talk about these issues at the state level all the time. But to go to communities that need this level of service and care is something that is so important right now across our state, really across our country. And I just really appreciate anyone who is willing to go through the rigorous training at an institution like this, prepare themselves for a life of that service, and go help individuals across our state who really will appreciate that level of care. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with all of you. There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Well, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to let me say a few words on this wonderful occasion, and it is a wonderful occasion. First, I'd like to welcome Dr. Mittelman to Yakima and to PNWU. Not that he doesn't need it, but I personally wanted to thank him for taking on this challenge. So as I thought about what to say today, I was reminded when this concept of starting an osteopathic medical school in Yakima first came about. I thought these people were crazy. I mean, I really did. I said, there is no way. But I can tell you that the university is here because of a firm belief and a strong commitment in Pacific Northwest University. The founders put their name, their reputation, and in some cases their pocketbook on the line. And it is truly an amazing story. Truly, it is an amazing story. I can tell you, having lived here most of my life, would have never thought Pacific Northwest University would be here and be such a success in our state. I thought of our past presidents that have guided us to this point: Dr. Mick, Dr. Tenney, Dr. Fleming, Dr. Butler, Dr. Watson, and Dr. Lawler. They were all the right people at the right time. I thought back over the last 20 or so years. The university started by providing a doctorate of osteopathic medicine. As the governor said, its mission was to care for medical care in rural regions that so needed that care throughout our state and throughout the Pacific Northwest. And as the governor has pointed out, it has exceeded, I think, anyone's expectations. It's an amazing story. The university has now added a doctorate of physical therapy, a master of science in occupational therapy, a master of science in biomedical science, and now, as of 2025, a doctorate in dental medicine. Not bad for 20 years. Think about it. Obtaining state funding for the new medical school made me realize that the Washington State Legislature has now become well aware of Pacific Northwest University and the success that the school has had. Having the governor of the state of Washington with us today says to me that Pacific Northwest University has arrived. Thank you, Governor, for your kind words and for your presence at our ceremony today. I want to congratulate Dr. Mittelman and his wife, Tanis. I look forward to working with you in the years to come and as you guide this wonderful institution forward. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Governor Ferguson and Senator King. The traditions surrounding academic ceremonies, such as inaugurations and commencements, are rooted in the customs of the Middle Ages when universities were first formed. Gowns and mortarboards, for example, were a common form of dress during that era. Today, graduates wear colorful academic apparel, signifying their alma maters and highest degree received. The academic garb and similar symbols and evidence of today's ceremony reflect the continuity and strength of higher education in our culture. Four particular institutional elements are important to PNWU: its seal, its mission, its mace, and its chain of office. These elements will now be presented to Mike. Leading off, I'd like to welcome Ryan Roberts.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ryan Roberts, and I'm the Director of IT Client Services and Chair of Staff Council. Dr. Lloyd Butler, one of our four founders who is currently seated here today, along with PNW's first president, Dr. Gregory Mick, designed the official university seal. The design includes a mount representing Mount Rainier and Mount Adams, both easily seen from campus on a clear day. A river flows out of the mountains on the seal, representing the fertile valleys of eastern Washington. The official seal lends authenticity to documents that emanate from the university. It is used primarily on diplomas, official transcripts, and certification of Board of Trustees actions. It is also used on the president's chain of office, the university mace, commencement programs, and the PNW Challenge coin issued to our military graduates during their promotion ceremony prior to commencement. Today, each of our guests will receive a PNW Challenge coin, an enduring symbol of university seal. Now, on behalf of Staff Council, it is my honor to present you, Dr. Mittelman, with this PNW Challenge coin. Thank you. I'd like
Kirsten Hall, President of the Student Government Association and a proud member of the COM class of 2028. The mission of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences is to educate and train healthcare professionals, emphasizing service in rural and underserved communities, particularly in the Northwest. Our vision as a university is to revolutionize community health. For students, these aren't just guiding statements. They're the lens through which we approach our studies, our service, and the responsibility we feel to the communities we will one day care for. We know that meaningful change happens when we work together, and we're excited to have Dr. Mittelman leading us to shape that future side by side. It is my honor, on behalf of all the students here at PNWU, to present you, Dr. Mittelman, with a plaque containing the words of our mission and vision, the guiding principles that will continue to anchor us as we build the future of PNWU together. Thank you. Now please join me in welcoming Dr. Holly Clark.
Thank you, student Dr. Hall. Hello, I'm Holly Clark, Assistant Professor of Family Medicine for the College of Osteopathic Medicine and Senator at Large for the Faculty Senate, representing all faculty and all programs here at PNWU. The ceremonial mace is a symbol of the university's authority, scholarship, and integrity. Rooted in an academic tradition that dates back centuries, it connects us to the greater academic enterprise, the search for knowledge and the pursuit of excellence. The mace leads the academic processional at commencement and is displayed at other significant university ceremonies to signify the importance of the occasion. In this way, it reminds us of all that makes us proud about our university and our collective achievements. The PNWU mace was commissioned by former university president, Dr. Lloyd Butler, and it was carved and generously donated by local artisan, Ralph Richards. The mace bears the official university seal, and it was first carried in the inaugural commencement ceremony in 2012. It resides in the office of the president. On behalf of the Faculty Senate, I am honored to present the university's mace to you, Dr. Mittelman. We truly value your contribution and your leadership. And next, I would like to welcome Kevin Van Norwick and Dr. Lloyd Butler.
Thank you. With every presidential inauguration, there is certainly a great sense of promise and hope for the future. We have much more than high hopes today. We know PNWU has a very bright future with Dr. Mittelman. His leadership has already made an incredible impact during his first 7 months as our president. The chain of office is a powerful symbol. It represents trust, responsibility, and continuity of leadership. We are deeply grateful for all that Mike has done, and we welcome you as our 7th president. We will all support your leadership as we continue to help, PNW meet its amazing mission. Thank you.
Sorry. Dr. Michael H. Mittelman, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, please accept this chain of office and investiture as we formally install you as the 7th President of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. invested in his role, we move to a new portion of this ceremony that invites us to look forward, to consider the leadership, purpose, and direction that will carry PNW into its future. It is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Eleanor Stasio. Eleanor brings a thoughtful and personal perspective to today's ceremony. She has been a meaningful presence in the lives of both Mike and his wife, Dennis, for many years. Her connection to their family makes her voice especially fitting for this moment. We're honored to have her with us to share her reflections on Mike's leadership before we invite him to deliver his inaugural address.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you right out of the gate, I'm going to try not to tear up, but I can't promise anything. And for those that know me, Mike and Dennis, this is probably expected. So here I go. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Eleanor Stasio, and I've traveled here from Horsham, Pennsylvania. Mike and I met at the Ambler YMCA more than 15 years ago. And it's truly an honor to introduce him. Right out of the gate, here I go. This didn't happen in dry runs. And give you more personal look at my very good friend, Mike Mittelman. Before I say anything else, I want you to take a look at this. You see it? You might already know him as Dr. Mike H. Mittelman, respected academic leader, decorated military officer, community supporter, and now the 7th president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. But this is how we know our Mike. Do you recognize those pictures, Mike? This is how we know our Mike. Mike. The man who on a Wednesday, when proudly asked, "What day is it?" replies, "It's home day." This picture may look playful, and it is, but it actually tells you almost everything you need to know about who Mike is, how he leads, and how he gives back. Today's ceremony is centered on the theme of shaping tomorrow together. And I can't think of a phrase that better reflects how Mike leads. Because for him, shaping has never been something you do for people. It's something you do with them. For a few minutes, just a few, hold tight, let me dive into Mike's core values and shed some light on how I see they blend together, both in his personal and professional life. One of Mike's core beliefs is that humanity belongs in leadership. He understands that effective leadership requires trust, presence, and connection. When people feel respected and valued, they engage. They collaborate. They rise to a shared purpose. Sometimes it looks like embracing a moment with little creativity and humor, because he understands that connection often begins with making people feel comfortable. But more often, it looks like reading the room, easing tension, creating an environment where people feel safe to speak, contribute, and grow. Mike leads with intention and empathy. And because of that, people just don't listen to him, they follow him. And when you lead with humanity, something powerful happens. People gather, and community begins to form. Another core value of Mike is showing up. Not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but consistently. He's the one making sure that everybody is included. The one taking the group photo, so no one's left out. The one who understands that community just doesn't happen. It's built, moment by moment, by people who care enough to be present. Mike just doesn't talk about community, he creates it. He nurtures it, and he protects it. And I cannot talk about community without talking about his remarkable wife. Here I go, Dennis Mittelman. because she is also a builder of community, through and through. Tanis brings warmth and generosity and care into every space she enters. Sometimes that looks big, and sometimes it looks as something as simple and meaningful as bringing homemade whipped cream to every Saturday walk, which I love personally. That may sound small, but when that whipped cream comes, it is with hospitality. It's consistency, and it's love expressed through action. And together, Mike and Tanis create the kind of community that makes people feel seen, welcomed, and at home. But community is not only measured on easy days. We know that. It's tested when things feel uncertain. See that? We changed that. It's a community picture now, Mike. This leadership of Mike's mattered no more than ever on March 13th, 2020, when COVID changed everything for us. Like so many others, we had questions. Could we do this? Should we do this? Was it safe? While everything around us felt uncertain, Mike was steady. He didn't panic. He didn't disappear. He stayed. For nearly 2 years, we showed up outside, 20 feet apart, side by side. Oh no, my speech. Need a little IT help. And there. Okay. With everything around us, while everything around us felt uncertain, Mike stayed steady. He didn't panic, he disappeared, he stayed. That's a repeat. It was important though to know. For nearly 2 years, we showed up outside, 20 feet apart, side by side, in the cold, snow, heat, and rain. Mike helped us work through what was right, what was responsible, and what mattered most, staying connected. Remember those days? And a special thanks and acknowledgement to the awesome group, you know who you are, and the Saturday Walkers, who helped keep that community strong. His calm presence gave us confidence. We trusted in his leadership, and we knew that because of him, we were not only staying connected, we were staying safe. And that steadiness is not theoretical. It shows up in very practical ways. Another thing you should know about Mike is that no job is too big or too small. He is incredibly handy. If something is broken, he fixes it. A ceiling fan, electrical wiring, which I've learned that his friend Larry taught him back when they were young, yesterday, when they were 5 childhood friends. Sealing a garage, fixing a bike. He just doesn't talk about solutions. He becomes part of them. And and if he can't fix it, he finds the right person and stays involved until the job is done right. Mike is the person people go to, the resource. This steady presence you rely on. He has a way of making complex things feel manageable. Not because they're easy, because you know you're not facing them alone. But underneath that action and underneath that steadiness, the problem solving, the showing up, is something even deeper, which you will all learn. What you might not immediately see is Mike's sensitivity. It's there. His foundation is strong, so he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve, but it's there. He notices when people are struggling. He steps in quietly. He supports without needing recognition. He is a mentor. He takes the time that's needed. He listens with intention. And that same sense of service extends far beyond the people immediately around him. Mike has dedicated countless hours giving back, serving on nonprofit boards, supporting community organizations, and investing his time and leadership in causes that have strengthened the communities around him. When something matters, he spares no expense, not for recognition, but because he genuinely cares. And behind that steadiness is our girl Tanis. She keeps him grounded. She is his sounding board, his trusted checkpoint, the one who helps him pause, reflect, and move forward with clarity. Together they balance heart and reason, reaction and reflection, because real leadership is rarely done alone. And this brings me to this. At what point do you know someone who's truly impacted your life? Is it when they wear a Hawaiian leg in that first picture, simply to bring a little bit of extra spirit to the moment? Or when they show up without being asked? When they give you confidence when you're unsure? When they open their home to a home-cooked meal and invite you? Or is it if when they simply keep their word and never waver in being your friend? Because in many cultures, that leg represents love, respect, honor, and friendship. And when I think about Mike, those are the exact qualities he brings to the people and communities around him every single day. Pacific Northwest University of Health Services. You are not just lucky, you are blessed. You are gaining a leader who leads with humanity, who brings community, who stands steady in uncertainty, and who does whatever it takes, who leads with character and heart. As you continue shaping tomorrow together, you do it with someone who deeply believes in the word together. Mike brings people with him. He listens, he mentors, he steadies, and he serves. And while he might have moved on from our community to yours, he will always be a part of ours. And now it is with my great honor to introduce you to your next president, Dr. Michael H. Mittelman.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. It's twice this week I've been speechless. The first time, I'm the chairman of the board of the Seeing Eye, and I learned that they planted a tree here in the honor of my inauguration. That blew me away. No pressure, right? Hey, Eleanor, thank you for that unbelievable introduction. I've got to live up to it now. You know, as you might surmise, Tanis and I have a very special group of friends back in Pennsylvania, and it's truly an honor for you and virtually for them to be with us today. And I've got some others here as well. If Governor Ferguson was still here, I'd say thank you very much for coming. I'll get to talk to him a little bit later. But it truly is an honor to have the governor at our institution. I think the senator said it very well. It speaks to the fact that we're on the map, and people know we are on the map, and for very good reason. I'd also like to thank my fellow president and the representatives for coming today. Clean up pretty well, but thank you so much. It's truly an honor to have you here. I know how challenging it is, and we're not next door. So thank you so much. Especially special thanks to my colleague, Dr. Labib Basant from Salis, who's now at Pacific University. So Labib, thanks for coming. I've got to thank a special hello, actually, to my daughter, Laurel, who's in Morocco watching this live stream. Her sisters, Emily and Tori, who are, well, Emily's in San Antonio doing her Army training, so I don't know what she's doing right now. And Tori, who's seeing patients as a clinical social worker back in Philadelphia. And all my other relatives and friends who are hither and yon watching this. Thanks for joining us. That's great. Before I say anything else, though,
these ceremonies don't happen by themselves. I want to thank those who have helped to make this happen. Special thanks to Keely Upton. Keely, where are you? Okay, thank you. Adam Story, who is in charge of all of this stuff, but really his people are making it happen. But Adam, where are you? Nellie Serrano, my newest adult supervision. Thank you. Vicki Gore. Vicki. I miss people, but just our great IT team, Ryan, all working, I hope. Facilities and security and everybody else who helped put this together. Thank you so very much. Can you all be stand up and you know, it's already been a really busy and exciting day. I keep saying this is the second most important event that's happening today, because right next door we had match day for our medical school, and I'm going to brag a little bit about Dr. Scandelis and his group, because they had a 99.3% match rate. 60% are going into primary care. That's our mission. So congratulations. You know, when Tanis and I first, I have my glasses on, I guess I'm going to do this. I'm an eye doctor. When Tanis and I first came to Yakima, you know, for my interviews, we walked around campus. Nobody knew us. We said, let's check this out. And then we walked around the city. We wanted to see what it was about. Actually, I wanted to see what the coffee scene was about. But you know, while we were on campus, we saw faculty and students heading to classes like you would expect. You know, staff making sure things were getting done, and it just looked like things were very much in order. But this was also a very reflective time for us. First time here, but clearly an important time for us. You know, I love the fact that nobody knew who we were, nobody noticed us, I hope, as we kind of tried to get in the buildings and they were locked. It still happens, actually. But it is also our very first time in the country, in this part of the country. And we've always wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest. I was talking to the governor earlier, and I said, you know, in the Navy, we have great duty stations out here, and we never got to go to one. So this was another wonderful opportunity. And the other thing is we walked around, and Senator King already alluded to this, we couldn't believe what had been built here in 20 years. It's absolutely phenomenal. These things don't happen by accident, and they happen with a lot of deliberate planning, which is something I appreciate. But most importantly to us, the campus really felt like a community of people who were unified in the mission of PNWU, and that the work they do here really matters well beyond themselves, and that's pretty obvious. And everybody you talk to, including the Board of Trustees, you'll find that. You know, after leaving campus that day, following the interviews that I had, which were, I hate to say it, but they were delightful, but they were. You know, we talked about the mission, and we talked about the spirit on campus, and how dedicated, especially the board, appeared to be. And that's what almost immediately drew us in. And that's what makes standing here today a true honor for myself and also for Tanis. You know, I like to tell the story that many of my friends, including Eleanor, were concerned that we wouldn't like living in Yakima because it's so different, much smaller than where we came from, urban Philadelphia. Well, I'm here to tell you how wrong they were. You know, when people ask me my first impression of Yakima, and I've had this happen in a couple of public forums, my first response is, it's the people. It's all about the people here. Always warm, kind, friendly, polite. You know, folks say good morning when you go to the local hardware store or the grocery stores. That doesn't happen consistently when you're living in big cities. You know, the other thing I really love, no traffic, no tolls. It's a beautiful thing. And it doesn't get much better than that. No tolls. You know, getting to this point in my journey, and Eleanor alluded to this, wasn't a solo act by far. My people who know me well, even people who getting to know me, know that sometimes I require a lot of adult supervision, and I've got a lot of people to thank for that. You know, first and foremost, I wouldn't be here without the support of my wife Tanis and our 3 daughters. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and things have to get done around the house and everything else, and somebody has to do that, and they do that. These roles are not easy, but they're fun, and you want to do them, and our families allow us to do these kinds of things. You know, I've also had a lot of great mentors along the way. I know one of them is listening. Jerry Petit, my oldest Navy friend, his wife Jeannie, Tanis's oldest Navy friend. I would never have gotten out of the gates without Jerry, that's a fact. And then Vice Admiral Mike Cowan, who I'm going to his funeral next week. But he taught me to be gentle with people. Sometimes people just teach you a life lesson. I knew him for many years before he became the Surgeon General. And he wrote me to go into Washington against my will. I got to do some pretty cool things with him. And there were many others along the way. My oldest friend, Larry, sitting back there, we went to kindergarten together. And yes, he did teach me about electricity. And other things. And his lovely wife, Lois. You know, they traveled from New York to be here. They've got a big event coming up this weekend, but they're here. Our Navy family, Mike O'Donnell, JR. Mike and I were together in our first duty station. And you know, the Navy is your other family, is our other family. We spent 33 years with them. And the friends we make there are special. Rear Admiral Dr. Colin Chin and his wife Aiko. We were in Okinawa together. Tried to drown me multiple times. Taught me open ocean swimming, amongst other things. But you know, these things are special, and we would go to the ends of the earth for each other, and that's what makes the Navy family special. And then my colleagues from Salis and Drexel are here. I see, you know, the VTECs, Beth Moy, Elizabeth von Boxdale. Thank you so much for making the trip here. I keep thinking we're Salis, but we're Drexel. I get it. And but thank you for coming and honoring me coming. It makes a big difference. And you know, a lot of other close friends made the trip too. And I don't want to miss anybody, but thank you. To our board, especially John von Brock, thank you, and Kevin von Norwick. Say that 3 times fast. Thank you for your friendship and for trusting me. I see John in the Y every once in a while, and we get to talk about things that are not about BMW sometimes, which is nice. But I appreciate the Board of Trustees and their confidence and trust in me. And it's been a pleasure and frankly a real honor to get to know all of you. BMW is really lucky to have such a dedicated board and an awesome board that I have felt very blessed. Not every university has this, and we are lucky to have the collection of expertise and commitment that this board brings to this university. That's one of the things that makes us so special. To our dedicated faculty, I want our faculty to please stand up and be recognized, because you know, the centerpiece of this university is faculty and students. And without this great faculty, we wouldn't be here. The staff that we have here is second to none. Even keeps the microphone working, which is a good thing. But you know, all of these things that you see around us is done by the collective staff that we have. Our students are amazing. You just saw one example of it. But our alumni, thank you very much. We have alumni on our board. Our alumni make us special. And to all of our partners, thank you for welcoming Tanis and me warmly into the PNWU community. And to our new community, thanks for embracing us and being true partners in the work that we do here. That means an awful lot. You know, PNU exists for a reason. You've heard that several times during this ceremony. And that reason is visible all around us. You know, we know that in communities like Yakima and throughout the Pacific Northwest, you know, not to mention the rest of the country, access to quality health care is certainly not guaranteed. There's a shortage of primary care providers throughout the region in addition to other types of providers that our population really needs. The professionals that are educated here, they do more than fill jobs. They fill those gaps that result in improved access to health care where truly it's most needed. They bring care to places where care might not otherwise reach. What we do here is not just education or not workforce development. What we do here is mission fulfillment. PNWU is truly a special place. While other institutions talk about recruiting from rural and underserved areas and then returning providers back, we actually do it. And the governor talked about our statistics, our national rankings. In fact, 33 of our graduates are actually practicing in Yakima today. So we're already making a difference. This university stands at the intersection of education, service, and I think most importantly, community need. And that responsibility comes with both a humbling and really an inspiring mission. And I don't take that lightly at all. And I don't think anybody else who's part of PNWU does as well. So as we gather here today, I believe we're stepping into a moment of significant change in higher education and also in healthcare. As we've all observed, our external environment is marked by policy volatility, financial pressures, technological disruption, read AI, and shifting societal expectations. You know, at the same time, healthcare workforce shortages, rural health disparities, and growing demand for community-based care underscore the continuing relevance of our mission here at PNWU. These realities require clarity, they require discipline, and thoughtful and bold leadership. They call on us not to retreat, but to lean into our mission with even more purpose and even more resolve. So with that, I want to be clear about my vision for Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. It's a vision grounded in mission, strengthened by partnership, but guided by stewardship. We will remain unwavering in our commitment to rural and underserved communities, while ensuring this institution is financially strong, strategically focused, and built to last. We will face today's headwinds directly and responsibly, ensuring that PNWU remains strong and sustainable in perpetuity. We will grow, but we will do it thoughtfully and responsibly, extending our reach only where it advances our mission and serves real community need. We will lead through collaboration across health systems, educational partners, and public policy, recognizing that no single institution can solve these challenges alone. Above all, we will foster a culture rooted in respect, accountability, and shared purpose, because how we work together and ultimately define the impact of those we educate and the trust we earn from the communities we serve is so very important. So as we look ahead, our path forward is clear, even if the environment is complex. We know we must navigate through heavy seas to get to our destination, but we'll get there. Together, we will strengthen our foundation, growing our endowment, expanding our community of supporters, and managing our resources with care and, again, accountability. We will expand our reach through partnerships, which is so very important, creativity, and careful growth. That includes building new innovative pathways into our programs, strengthening those relationships we already have across the region, and thoughtfully exploring new geographic footprints and program opportunities to extend our presence in our backyard and beyond in ways that align with our mission but does not strain the university. We will continue to work closely with the healthcare ecosystem that we're already working with of this region to include health systems, community organizations, public agencies, and clinical partners. We can't do it without you. No single institution can meet the region's needs alone. I think that's clear in this environment. But together, we can strengthen care, expand opportunities, and ensure that the people of this region have access to healthcare providers that they really deserve. We'll work closely with our educational partners in the state and greater Pacific Northwest region to ensure we have equitable access to clinical rotations for all of our professions. We must work together to ensure we are putting the needs of our communities ahead of the needs of our institutions collectively. They have to be aligned. We know that public policy increasingly shapes clinical training capacity, student affordability, and healthcare access. We're going to strengthen our role as a constructive voice in policy discussions affecting health professions, education, and rural healthcare delivery. So, Senator, I'll be visiting you. We're going to advocate respectfully, though, thoughtfully, and persistently for policies that allow higher education and healthcare to remain accessible. Advocacy is not political. It's a professional necessity and a professional responsibility. It's another way for caring for patients and communities who depend on the systems we will help shape. It's always been my belief that advocacy is a team sport. So engaging faculty, students, alumni, and partners in these efforts are going to be the most effective way to achieve our collective goals. Beyond plans and priorities, what will define us most is how we treat one another. The culture we build here that's grounded in respect, grounded in collaboration, grounded with accountability and shared purpose will shape the professionals who leave this campus and impact the world that they're going to be serving. So as we move forward together, we're going to be guided by that vision. Mission first, partnership always, and stewardship in absolutely everything that we do. I don't see this presidency as a position. I really see it as stewardship and a personal mission. This university does not belong to one person. It belongs to the students who study here, the faculty and staff who serve here, the partners who walk beside us, and the communities whose trust we hold. Nearly 20 years ago, a small group of very thoughtful and deeply committed people looked at this region, and you heard a little bit about this earlier. They didn't see limitations, but they saw amazing possibilities. Some of them here are here today. Dr. Butler, I know John and Priscilla Caldwell are here, Dr. Mike Maples, Karen Hyatt, there are others. Can I have all the founders please stand and be recognized? You talk about an incredible group of people. You're looking at them. They understood that access to health care would not improve on its own, but would require vision, courage, and a willingness to build something new. It wasn't an easy path. I've heard the stories. What began as an idea, and with a great deal of work and fundraising and everything else that goes along with that, this has grown into a university that prepares healthcare professionals who serve communities across this region and beyond. Remember, 99.3% match rate, kicking it. Anthropologist Margaret Mead once said, and I quote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." That's what happened here. That spirit is part of this university's DNA. It's how PNWU began, and it's how we're going to move forward. Together, we're going to prepare healthcare professionals who do more than practice healthcare. They're going to strengthen communities, they will expand access, and most importantly, I think, earn the trust where it matters most. The future of healthcare in this region is going to be shaped by the people that we educate here. The partnerships that we're going to build, and already starting to build, and the values that we live every day. So before I close, I have an announcement to make that's off script. I've been accused of going off script periodically. You know, we mentioned that we have a new mascot, and it's a Mustang, and we're thrilled about that. But the Mustang didn't have a name up until the other day. So our Mustang's name is Maverick, and there it is. I was tempted to wear my flight suit under this and do the Maverick thing, but I was told probably not a good idea. So, welcome Maverick. So in closing, I ask each of you, students, faculty, staff, alumni, partners, community leaders, to take ownership of this mission that we have here. Lead where you are. Support one another. Hold fast to our shared purpose. If we do that, there's no doubt that PNWU is going to continue to change lives, strengthen communities, and serve our region and beyond for many generations to come. So I cannot thank you enough for welcoming Tanis and me to your community. Thank you for your trust and belief. Most importantly, thank you for the extraordinary honor to lead this unbelievable institution. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. That was incredible. Thank you again to our students, our faculty, our staff, our alumni, academic delegates, and honored guests who are here today for coming together as a community to formally recognize and to celebrate Mike as president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. As we conclude our ceremony, Mike, followed by the platform party and those in the processional, will recess to the atrium for reception. As soon as they have exited, please join us in celebration. Please stand for the recessional. Thank you.